Yo, what's happening, guys? KGCEpic here. So YouTube, I got this list that I made about a page long about anime that everyone knows or like have seen advertised, or like actually like watched a couple episodes of it or something. By the way, sorry for the sheep in the background. That's my mother's pet sheep being a cunt for some weird reason. I don't know why it's making so much noise. Anyways, yeah, like I was saying, anime that everyone like knows, mainstream animes, right? I'm giving my personal rating for it, right? And I've watched a lot of anime. I've watched countless fucking anime. I did one video where I was like counting the amount of anime, and I think I stopped at like not three something. Was like 150 something, 140 something, and that was just me doing like a rough check. If I actually sat down and check how much anime did I actually watch and how much anime is on my to watch list, I think I would actually reach about 2 something, 3 something, right? So the first anime that I have on this list here is Naruto. Now I counted Naruto and Naruto Shippuden as two different animes because they are two different animes with two different titles, I should say. Because even though Naruto Shippuden is a sequel to Naruto, you have to remember that it's not Naruto season 2. It's like a whole different anime, kinda. So I have Naruto here. Naruto as a genin. I gave it 7 out of 10. Now, the reason why I gave it 7 out of 10 is because one thing that I find it lacked another Jonin fights. It didn't have that much Jonin fights. Only 2 good Jonin fights I could like recall, and not even like 2 good ones. Like 2 S-class fights I could recall was Third Hokage versus Orochimaru, and then when Itachi and Kisame came in the village, and they had the standoff. Oh, and there was also like the good S-class fight between the 3 Sanins. So they only had like about maybe 4 or 5 S-class fights, and other than that, the actual Jonins that were like in charge of like the teams and all that sort of stuff, we didn't see them like perform as much in the anime as we would like. Like I remember when the anime was done, I was still wondering like I want to see more of Kakashi. I want to see more of a Guy, because if Lee knows the 8 gates, how many can Guy open? Could Guy open all 8 gates? Could Guy this? Could Guy that? I had like a lot of stuff, and some of the stuff like in the anime as well. We had to wait until Shippuden dropped for we to understand like certain stuff in Naruto. Like how where like some people come from and that sort of stuff. So and we had to wait a while for Shippuden. So yeah, I gave it 7 out of 10. For Shippuden, I gave Shippuden 6 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10. Now the reason why I gave Shippuden 6.5 is because Shippuden has too many fucking fillers. I'll give you some instances of where Shippuden has too many fillers. When Naruto defeated Pain, he had so many fillers. After Itachi and Sasuke fought, there was so many fillers. Even during the Great Ninja War, so many fucking fillers. It's like Filaruto and not fucking Naruto sometimes. And another thing too is that I kind of wanted Naruto to know a different technique when he came back from his 3-year training. The 3-year gap between Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. I kind of wanted him to come out with more techniques, rather than that. He only learned more techniques when he got the Sage Jutsu. Other than that, he just used to QB boost his Rasengans, and that was like about it. I kind of wanted to see him know more wind style techniques, especially when they were like teaching him the different elements, and when he learned his Rasen Shuriken and all that stuff. Plus, Shippuden started out very slow. I remember that Shippuden started out slow, and there weren't a lot of fights in the start. There was a lot of talking in the start of Shippuden. For Bleach, I gave Bleach 6 out of 10. Now, Bleach started out very good. Bleach started out like really boss. I remember Bleach started out, it had a lot of potential. Now, Bleach got boring after a while. Bleach got boring after Hollow Fight Ichigo versus Lotus Ichigo versus Ulquiorra. After that, Bleach was just trash. For me personally, Bleach was just fucking trash. Because fine, we had the captains versus Espada number 1, 2, and 3, and Aizen was there, and they had like Wonder Weiss, that guy that could break any Zanpakuto and stop any Bankai and all that sort of stuff, right? But it wasn't that hot, and at the end of the day, they hyped like Ichigo and Aizen fighting so much, and the fight between Ichigo and Aizen was just trash. Even when the Quincy's attacked the Serity, the fight was just kind of stupid. Even the fight between the fake Jura batch and the head captain was kind of stupid, and I was surprised the head captain died in that fight. That sort of stuff. I would say it just didn't deliver well. The full bring arc was kind of stupid. That sort of stuff. It just didn't deliver well for me personally speaking. But in the starting, like I would say, starting and middle, it was awesome, but in the ending, it's not going well so far in the ending. I actually stopped watching it for a while. I put it on break, and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna watch like a whole bunch of it in case, like, you know, something good actually happens. But you know, I've always been asking my friends, like, is anything hot happening in Bleach right now, and they always tell me no. So you know, that sort of stuff. um for One Piece, I give One Piece 8 out of 10. Now, for One Piece, I would tell you the first 50 episodes of One Piece is boring. I would tell you that much. But afterwards, it really picks up. Now, the reason why I give One Piece that much is because One Piece takes the time to actually deliver character details and like a really slow, detailed storyline. Like, you would understand everything in One Piece, and there is still so much mystery to come. That's the thing about One Piece. And the fights, again, really, really awesome. Like, if you watch One Piece manga, the fights are insane at this point. It is fucking awesome at this point, honestly. And while some people wouldn't agree with me by putting One Piece over Naruto especially, I would say that One Piece is definitely more entertaining than Naruto. I don't have Boruto on the list because I only watched 10 episodes of Boruto. So, you know, I didn't really put Boruto on the list. I would say, like, I would make Boruto mature more as an anime before I actually, like, give it a good rating. I have Toriko here. Toriko, I gave 7.5 out of 10. That includes the anime and the manga, right? No, what gave Toriko 7.5 out of 10? You know, there's always so much diversity in terms of the food and stuff. Like, you would think that if they have to always find new ingredients every episode, that they would have like some redundancy. I would say the creators of Toriko did a very good job in terms of actual creativity of all the foods that they made, all the animals that they made, all the techniques that they made. And there are some sick fucking fights in Toriko. I'll give you some sick fights in Toriko. Now, the anime didn't have like a lot of sick fights because at the time Toriko and them was still weak and in human world, and they were like still eating you know, the low class ingredients and stuff like that. But once Toriko and them actually like progressed to gourmet world, like the fights got freaking awesome. Like, I remember there was a chef tournament where the bad guys, I'll call them the bad guys, I forgot the name. I think they didn't like the Bishakuya. No, I think it was Neo. It wasn't Neo. It was Joa, or Jao, or whatever her name is. Anyways, the stupid weird Frusk lookalike thing. Because I also put Toriko on break. Toriko is on break for like a year and some. I wanted to build up. I hate watching Toriko and then having the fucking cliffhangers. I hate that shit. I left it for it to build up. But anyways, yeah, that in that instance, right? And like everyone's fighting and all that shit, and you know the dude knocking Master Jiro, this dude could perform knocking on planet Earth and stop it from rotating on its fucking axis. That is just like OP shit. Like, he's OP as fuck. He was raised by Battle Wolf Guinness, which is one of the 8 kings. That was like some like sick fucking shit. Yeah, and there was like so many other sick fucking fights, like the fight between what's his name, Ishiru and Midora was a fucking sick fight. That fight was like insane. Ishiru's minority wall, I mean, Ishiru was holding back the entire time. Minority wall is like opposite day. If you're alive, you're dead. If you're dead, you're alive, and that sort of shit. So you're fighting Ishiru, and for you to stay alive, you have to kill yourself. And you know, that sort of fucking shit just kind of made Toriko pretty awesome. But Fairy Tail, I give Fairy Tail 5 out of 10. Now, I give Fairy Tail such a low rating because Fairy Tail started out awesome and it just didn't deliver the way I wanted Fairy Tail to deliver. Fairy Tail just kind of got stupid after a while in terms of like they wanted the characters to be stronger without making them train. So they had like a lot of lazy power-ups. Like, you don't see Natsu on them training, and but they do go on these training trips. But the time skips. They should incorporate more training. I like to see people train. Added to that, there are a lot of like bullshit moments in Fairy Tail. For example, Natsu beating people Erza and other S-class wizards can't beat. Even though Natsu's not an S-class wizard, he never passed the S-class exams, making him weaker than them. You know, he only got his power up after he got the stupid Igneo spirit thing, and then the whole END shit going on right now, and all that sort of shit, right? And a lot of other moments that was just a lot of bullshit. You know, no one in the guild in Fairy Tail dies, for example. The power of friendship fuckery they always pull anytime anybody in the guild is in like a really tight spot. You know, that sort of shit is annoying. SAO, for SAO, I give SAO 4 out of 10. Now, I give SAO 4 out of 10 because SAO was just not like the idea behind SAO was so fucking epic. If this guy that made SAO actually delivered like the way people wanted him to deliver it, like if he like incorporated like how Log Horizon does their shit sometimes, if he incorporated some of that like more MMORPG aspects in the anime, given the fact that they are in an MMORPG world, then you know at the end of the day, I would have given it a higher rating. Added to that, there was a scene that I said that I really hate in SEO where they just cut off the fucking action and it was just him and Asuna. I think Asuna is her name. Is Kirito and Asuna. I think it's Asuna. I think. Maybe no, maybe not Asuna. The other one. The other one. Anyways, it's the fucking one that uses the fencing sword. Yeah, they were just like in a fucking cabin, being romantic and all that shit while all the fighting is happening. We're not seeing that shit. That kind of shit just like fucked with it in terms of like how like we wanted it to be delivered. We would have liked less bullshit like Kirito being the only one being able to dual wield and all that sort of stuff. We would have wanted like more shit like that. Like for example, I would have liked like if someone picks up a sword to dual wield, it will say required level so class so. That sort of shit. I would have liked it to be more gamey because of the fact that they're in a video game world, honestly. So I give it 4 out of 10. Log Horizon I gave 6 out of 10. I give Log Horizon 6 out of 10. I was thinking of giving it a little higher rating, but I honestly didn't watch the entirety of season 2. I watched up to the part where there was a stupid killer Santa Claus. Yeah, and it was alright. No, the reason why I gave Log Horizon a higher rating than SEO, like I said, is because it is more gamey than SEO. You can't cook unless you're a chef, or you could only cook things and let them taste a certain way, unless you have the chef subclass. There are classes, there are subclasses, there are different skills in it. There's the monks, the fucking archers, the this, the that. It's more gamey. Even the fucking dungeon raids that they do, and even like the fact that there are NPCs that have different personalities and still the characters, that makes it come to life more. I don't know if I could give it a higher rating or a lower rating depending on how season 2 goes, because I haven't watched season 2. No, I think it's season 3 I haven't watched. Anyways, it's the latest season that I haven't watched, right? Shingeki no Kyojin. For Attack on Titans, I give Attack on Titans 7.5 out of 10. Now, I was thinking of giving Attack on Titans a higher rating, right? But then when I thought about Attack on Titans, I would say that sometimes it is just fucking retarded. For example, how can like no one that fucking trained with Eren and them kill a fucking Titan properly? Like the fuck? Isn't your training based upon that shit? I mean, I get the fear factor as well. You're standing on a fucking building and then this thing is towering over the fucking building, and you as a human being has to kill this fucking thing. And a lot of instances where people didn't have to die, and plus a lot of people acting weird in Attack on Titans, and people are not like catching up on that shit. They're not acting as if there is an emergency, honestly. Okay, I get the fact that the Titans have always been a serious threat, but this is the only point in your actual time when you've been on the Titan attack that you have seen people turn into Titans, and you've seen this and you've seen that. And even when they saw the Titan in the wall, they didn't give it more urgency than it should have actually gotten. I get the fact that it was trying to die down the whole scenario of there being Titans in the walls that actually protect us and all that sort of shit. But at the end of the fucking day, you would think that there would be a lot more urgency in terms of that. Like, I would say the action is awesome, the storyline is going very well, but in terms of like, them delivering certain personalities or certain reactions that you would be expecting, it's not really like how I would like see it. It's not delivered in the manner that I would like want. For Food Wars, Shokugeki no Soma, I gave it 8 out of 10. No, 8 out of 10 for Food Wars because Food Wars is pretty fucking awesome. Food Wars has a lot of potential. Food Wars has a lot of shit going on for it. I would have probably given it a 9 out of 10, but, like I said, I'm enjoying Food Wars, I should say. I don't have anything bad to say about Food Wars, it's just that in some places it's a bit lacking, it could deliver more in certain areas, but overall as an anime, it's very well balanced as an anime, and how it's progressing. For Noblesse, now Noblesse is manhwa, right? So I'm not sure if there are some people who don't read manga and don't read manhwa, but If you're a fucking anime lover, you gotta get on your fucking manga and you gotta get on your manhwa. For Noblesse, I give Noblesse 8.5 out of 10. Now, Noblesse is a sick fucking anime. Like, it is just one boss fight after the other. And when you think that the fight is not going to get better, when you think there's not going to be more weird story shit going on, there is more weird story shit going on. There's more boss fights going on. Now, I do thoroughly enjoy Noblesse. Hence the reason why I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. Now, let me see. I don't know. In terms of where it's lacking, I don't think Noblesse is lacking much in any areas per se, But I'm not sure where it's going to go in the direction that it's taking, where it's going to go afterwards. Because it has to be the fucking nobles versus humans. There are no other opponents at this point. And I'm not sure how the humans are even going to put up a fight in terms of any form of fashion. Now, we do have Dr. Cromwell that, everyone conveniently forgot he existed because, we had all the fights with Musaka versus, the current werewolf lord, the nobles, and even the noble lord actually coming in and fighting. And, we had a lot of fights, and Dr. Cromwell is just there with Frankenstein's research book and doing a whole bunch of shit. Plus, Frankenstein is there, and Frankenstein does more research, and I don't know. Every time I see Frankenstein in Noblesse, something tells me that he's a bit more sly than everyone thinks he is. Like, okay, fine, all of a sudden, he met Cadiz, right? And then he decided to make Cadiz his master because they went into a contract and all that sort of shit, right? But then at the end of the day, you have to remember Frankenstein was the type of person that used to just like kidnap people and do gruesome experiments on them and all that sort of stuff. He has like this weird temper, plus he has the dark spear that haunts him with with the souls of all the people that he used to actually forge it and all that sort of shit, right? So something with Frankenstein to me is just not right. Frankenstein is too jolly around Cadiz and them. I believe that at some point Frankenstein is going to pull some sort of betrayal or something, but I don't know. But anyways, Noblesse for me right now is 8.5 out of 10. Tower of God is 7 out of 10. Now Tower of God is I don't know what to say about Tower of God. Tower of God has so much potential, so much fucking potential, but it doesn't give a good area for training because you always have to be going up the levels in the fucking flow. You always have to be doing this. You always have to be doing that. You always have to be on edge. All this sort of shit. Now the people in Tower of God is just OP. It's just sick. We have the 13 princesses with their weapons. We have yet to see King Jaha do anything much. Even like Murak Mazimo and all the other high ranking people, like not even just high rankers, but these people stand out. Like rankers make everybody else in the tower look like a wind up fucking chew toys, right? They actually completed the fucking tower and have gotten a rank based on how they performed on their exams for climbing the tower. And people like Murak Mazimo, I remember that when Murak Mazimo was there and they sent 3 high rankers. Now high rankers are people that have a really high score rating, right? To actually fight him, and he just defeated them, poop poop poop, right? And he was like, wow, they only sent 3, I was expecting 2,000. That sort of shit. That sort of shit is just like really fucking awesome for me right now, and plus the dude that actually used the thorn originally and all that sort of shit. There was a lot of shit going on in Tower of God, and there's a lot of potential for Tower of God. Now keep in mind, when I'm rating this anime, I'm not only rating for like current stuff, I'm also rating where the anime is taking a turn to and what we were expecting and what they can deliver so far. And I'm actually looking at a step forward as well, in terms of where the anime is and what we're going to get, what we're expecting and all that sort of stuff as well. So you have to keep that in mind as well. Of course, I have named some completed animes like Naruto Shippuden is completed, and Naruto Shippuden is actually the only completed anime that I have named, truth be told. So yeah, for all the other animes, I'm also looking at where it's going as an anime. 7 Deadly Sins. Nanatsu no Taizai, I give it 9 out of 10. No, 7 Deadly Sins is only getting sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker. I don't even know how sicker 7 Deadly Sins can fucking get, because we were at a point where the demons attacked and they leveled so many fucking cities, and Meliodas died, and then he came back to life and all this sort of stuff. His curses that he can't die, and all this sort of shit. And the angels were not there for a while, and all this other shit was occurring, and the Holy Knights that we thought was like really awesome, they ain't shit. The Holy Knights ain't shit. The Holy Knights are getting trashed. The only Holy Knights that were actually strong was well, the three strongest ones. The Gil Thunder's father, I think his name is Zaratos or something like that. Um, Zarathustra is, and then his two the two people that were with him. I don't know if they were like his pupils or maybe people he trained with or something like that. Hendrickson and the other one, I forgot the other one's name. Those are the only three Holy Knights that are actually worth shit in the entire anime. Every other Holy Knight is just so fucking weak. You know, we even had like Gil Thunder and the other wind dude, and they're pulling off like really OP techniques. I remember when they pulled off a technique called Dragon Castle, where it's like a twister, a tornado, like it's a typhoon. It's like a weird typhoon thing that, and I was like, that technique is so fucking sick. And then there is this dude. He's the scene of rage, I think. Anyways, he's one of the seven deadly sins, right? Not the seven deadly sins. I mean the Ten Commandments. The Ten Commandments, not the seven deadly sins. Um, yeah, because there are the seven deadly sins, which is Meliodas' group, and then there are the Ten Commandments, which are like 10 powerful demons that used to directly serve the Demon King, and they got sealed, and someone unsealed them, right? I remember when he came to a Camelot, I believe, and it was like, and he's in his weak state, right? He's in his weakened state. He just got unsealed, so he still has a weak body. And he was like, I'm looking for Meliodas. Where is he? And then he found Meliodas and them, and he was like, okay, now I need some breathing space. And he just did this with his hand, and like half of Camelot being a city that is huge, just got leveled, and everyone died. I was like, whoa. That was like something almost equivalent to what Meliodas did when he found out his girlfriend or wife died, and when he nuked the entire fucking kingdom. You know, these demons are OP as fuck. There's so much shit going on, and you know, not everyone has found their holy weapon, because the seven deadly sins have their holy weapons as well, and they don't even use it much. Plus, you know, some of them are still holding back. I think they still probably have seals on them or some shit, because I remember that Meliodas had to go to the druid place to get back some of his power. And I remember when he got back his power, he was so fucking OP. Now I would tell you something, the character that is by far the most fucking OP in Seven Deadly Sins, like the fight that was like so fanboyish, Escano, the scene of pride, like when he was fighting Meliodas' big brother, right? He's Meliodas' big brother is the one that is I think is I forgot what commandment it was, but it's the commandment where you can't have any ill will towards him. You can't have any ill will towards him. If you have any ill will towards him, you can't move. You can't move your body, right? Because that's how the Ten Commandments work. There is, if like you're fighting the commandment that is thou shalt not kill, and you kill anybody in front of them, then you have all your years taken away from you because you took a life, and you know that sort of shit. And like he came up, and everyone's angry because he's the one that killed Meliodas. He stabbed Meliodas, and whether he destroyed Meliodas is 5 hearts and all that shit. And I'm fanboying this right now, right? Because it was a cool moment, and everyone couldn't move because he said, as long as you have ill will towards me, I can't move. And he's all calm and this and that. And Escano walks up to him, and he says, how can you move? How are you not angry that Meliodas is dead? And Escano is like, the only emotion that I have to anyone in this world is pity, because you're not me. And then he just fucks him up with this like fucking mini sun. He made like a miniature sun in his hand and just fucks him up. It was awesome. It was a fucking awesome moment, honestly. And Sanitizer definitely gets his 9 out of 10. Haikyuu gets 8.5 out of 10. Now, Haikyuu being a sports anime, it is very catchy, and it has its catchy moments as well, I would say, for sure. There is this, I remember this scene. There is this dude called Oikawa. He's the setter for this school. Him and the dude that Hinata always sets up with the setter for Karasuna. I forgot his name. I don't know why the fuck I forgot his name. Anyway, the setter for Karasuna used to be like a junior to him. So Oikawa is always like, I don't have like that raw natural talent that some of these people that actually played volleyball actually have, and all that sort of stuff. So he's always training. I remember that when he came to a really close moment in the fucking anime, and it was his turn to serve. When they called him Cannon Hand that time. when he served the fucking ball, like everybody Carasuna is still waiting for the ball to come to them after the ball passed them. That kind of shit. That was fucking awesome. That was fucking awesome. You know, that kind of shit has like, yeah, Haikyuu has its moments. Haikyuu actually has its training. You see Hinata on them training. It has its story mode. It has this build up. It has everything going on for it in terms of a sports anime. Haikyuu is actually the only sports anime I watch. I tried watching Free, but Free is just kind of gay. I tried watching Kuroko no Basket. Kuroko no Basket is kind of redundant, and it's not even like, it doesn't even make sense sometimes. Like some of the techniques that some of these people have doesn't make sense. Like even like the hawk eye and all that sort of shit doesn't make fucking sense. And you know, that sort of shit. And it got Kuroko no Basket got kind of boring after a while for me personally. I don't know why. It just kind of got boring. So Haikyuu is the only sports anime I actually watch. I give it an 8.5 out of 10 because I thoroughly enjoy it, and it's my personal routine, like I said, right? Keep that in mind. For Black Lagoon, I gave Black Lagoon an 8 out of 10 because Black Lagoon delivered well in terms of, like, you know, how gangsters and how like murderers actually are in like real world. I feel like they delivered well, very very well, because Black Lagoon is like, for starters, I remember my friend saying that he watched Black Lagoon and he didn't like, wasn't into it because he's into fantasy animes and there's no fantasy in Black Lagoon. It's all real world shit, right? But like how gangsters are and drug smugglers and people who do human trafficking and all that sort of stuff are, that's how Black Lagoon delivered that shit. Like, it's awesome. And you know, they're like this well, it's mainly two bossy, like two actual drug lords in Roanapa in Black Lagoon that actually like are shit. But there are I think like some Mexican ones or Hispanic ones or some shit like that, or Spanish ones that are